Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with a returning expert. He took some time off, kid number two, right?
Number two. Yeah.
Number two.
Hopefully that's it.
You're done.
I'm done. Yes.
You're done, but let's see if the wife's done. We'll ask her in about 6 months. So welcome back, Emil. How are you?
Great to be back. Good to see you. Missed being on the channel. So
yeah, the channel's missed you. We've talked about markets, all that stuff. We're actually going to have a very different conversation than all of the last 5,287 videos I've done. It's not often that a new topic comes up, but we have one here today. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm excited to get your perspective.
So let me remind people Emil's story, and then we can kind of dive into it. So again, you worked at Roofstock for some time. You have done some out-of-state investing. You have left Roofstock, started your own entrepreneur endeavor. Now had a second kid. So you have a lot of stuff going on. So you have this real estate portfolio that's out of state. You're launching a new business, which is taking off. You have kid responsibilities, and you're kind of feeling overwhelmed. And I think the very last interview we did, you're like, help me understand. I think I need to fire a property manager. And I think that was the answer. So, and again, you're in multiple states, right? It's not like you have one state. You have a little smattering of stuff. So remind people where you are with real estate, and then let's just talk about the reality of where you're at.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have property. I have a single family home in Jacksonville, Florida. Okay. I have a single family home in Indianapolis, Indiana. Okay. And then I have a single family and a triplex in St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay. So you've gotten to the 4, right? If you're on my channel for anything like the time, I'm like, hey, if you can go from 0 to 1, awesome. Let's try to get to 4, right? 4 can be life-changing. And at 4, you do have a decision point. Is this for me? Does it fit my life? And if it does, maybe you go to 10. But some people get to 4 and you're like, I don't need another job. I got too much stuff going on. And it kind of sounds like your option B.
Yeah, so I'm at this interesting inflection point. It's funny, you nailed it on the head. You tell people get to 4, and then I think you start to get a sense for like how much work is involved. Mm-hmm. Do I want to scale this? Am I good where I'm at? Like, it's a good place to see if this is the thing you want to like scale up or not.
Yeah.
So I'm at that point. I've had a really tough time finding the key piece of investing out of state, which is the property manager. I've cycled through several. I've just had a really hard time, and it's made this very difficult to scale. I think if you find the right property manager, you guys, you grill them, you find the right person, this is something you'd want to keep going with. I have not found that person. I've cycled through, I think, 4 property managers in the primary market I focus on, which is St. Louis now. Mm-hmm. I just haven't been able to find someone reliable enough where I'm like, yeah, I'm going to keep putting dollars there and grow this out. So I'm at that point where I'm like, okay, I obviously still definitely believe in the power of real estate. Mm-hmm. I still want to invest my money in real estate, a good portion of it. I'm just like, maybe I'm not going to invest directly myself out of state. Maybe I either partner with somebody who's local and has it figured out, maybe even, try to vet some syndications or other people have found a GP that they like and trust or whatever, try them out. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm curious, like, I wanted to get your feedback.
So again, I'm going to give you feedback, but I'm also going to dress it up. So hopefully this helps others as well. So the first thing I would say is obviously out-of-state investing. I've always said is hard. And I've always said the key is property manager. I've actually gone as far as to say a bad property manager can make a great market horrible. And the reverse is true. A bad market can be made great by the property manager. It is that key of a role.
Totally.
Second, I think too many people find the deal first and then scramble to find the property manager, as opposed to vetting a PM first and then finding the deal. So I don't know if that happened for you or not. I don't remember the order, but here's the final one. And I think this got you. And this is where we're going to talk about the most. I think once, like, you got to 4, but you're in 3 markets. I have bad news for you. Odds say that's going to suck, because the odds just say you can't find 3 great property managers. It doesn't work that way. The ratio is not on your side.
Right.
So again, if you're going to get to 4, I think it is far better to do that in one market.
I agree.
Right. So that's the first kind of That's the first thing that you and I need to talk about. I think you're suffering, and frankly, you did it to yourself, right? You've got one system over here, another system over there, and another system over here, and they're all different. So it hurts. It's uncomfortable. It's hard. So the first thing I would ask you to do is there one of the markets, and maybe it's not the highest return market, like who is the best property manager right now? What city is the best property manager?
I'd probably say Indianapolis.
Okay. And how long have you had them?
Probably like 9 months. Hasn't been long enough where I'm like really confident in them. Yeah.
So which one of you is Jacksonville the one you've owned the longest?
Yeah, that one I've had since 2017. I've had the same property manager.
Okay.
They've been okay. They've actually been like the least like headache or me having to like, pull my hair out and dealing with.
All right. Now I'm confused. Why is the other one better than Jacksonville?
I feel like Jacksonville has just been lucky, not that they're a better PA. You know what I mean? Like it's
so the asset itself is less of a headache.
Exactly. It's just been, it's had a couple things, but they've been small. They've been handled. They haven't really dealt with anything major yet where it really tests the property manager.
Okay. And have you had that similar thing in Indianapolis in 9 months? Have they done something that says, oh, wow, you handled that better than I thought?
There were a couple of things that just came in and they handled it quickly. Like just the way their systems work, I think just aligned.
Made you feel better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I think one of the first things you need to realize is, and you've already realized that this is more for people watching this, the PM can make the market.
Yeah.
Totally. And right now, St. Louis, the way I get the feeling is St. Louis is your best market, but the most headaches, which means it's not the market you want to continue with. And if a market turns you off from real estate investing, it's a hint that, stop looking there, frankly, right? Because you're not going to grow there.
Right.
So I guess the first thing I would tell you to do is, I think I would ask myself, or basically what I'd be telling myself is I'm not going to put any more eggs in St. Louis. I'm going to go back to Jacksonville and Indianapolis and figure if I want to grow there. Again, the returns on paper may be less. I don't know those markets.
Yep.
But that's what I'd be asking myself. Because then what I would do, if the answer is yes to one of those two markets, I would be looking to reduce headaches, which would mean sell St. Louis in 1031 into these other markets. Because I think part of the reason you're getting turned off and stopping here is because of the headache. Because of the like, if you stop at 4 now,
yeah,
I think it's for all the wrong reasons, frankly.
But what, I don't think I've mentioned it fully. Okay. I also started, you mentioned I started a business earlier. We've since like used that business to like create other businesses in a way. So it's like, I'm starting to think my time, like what is going to yield me the most over the long run. And it's like, I actually have an edge in this business, right? It's like a skill in marketing I've developed over years, and we're using that to build sites. So it's like, me investing in another city, another state right now, that's not like, could it not be the best and highest use of my time and my leverage? That's kind of the thinking I'm going through as well.
Okay. Yeah. The whole entrepreneur aspect that you have, right? There's a business that it's still in its infancy and you have a moat that you want to establish that gets you ahead.
Right.
I totally get it. So if I look at your portfolio, and again, it's 7 minutes or whatever we've been talking, I think one of the things we need to do is I think we need to extract St. Louis. Yeah. I think if you just went to one in Jacksonville, one in Indianapolis over the next 6 or 9 months, I think that gives you decompresses the situation. Because I don't think, I just think St. Louis is not the market for you, right? It hasn't worked out. It doesn't warrant more, your 7th property manager. Right. Because if that distracts from the other two, I just don't see the upside of, I already bought them, I'm just going to keep them. I think they're actually negative leverage right now for you. At least that's the sense I get. Interesting.
It's funny because I'm thinking the other way. I'm like, I just bought the triplex. I've dealt with the headaches of a year of like rehabbing and like painful property management changes. I'm like, man, if I sell now, I went through all the pain to not get through any of like we're about to lease it up. Okay. And we've fixed a lot of things. So it's been like a lot of pain.
But how long have you been telling you that? Because sometimes it always feels like there's always another shoe to drop.
Right. I mean, now all the work is done, right? It's been like a pain to like get the work done on these units.
Okay.
Because it's been like, I've had to change property management hands when one
So
lease came
then we
up,
need to
and
put
then,
a date. We're going to call it March 1st or April 15th. We got to pick
Yeah.
a date sometime in the first half of next year
yeah,
where we need to evaluate St. Louis, because maybe it takes off from here. Maybe you finally found him. It's all dialed in.
right.
I don't know. It just, you need to pick a date right now. So you don't just keep telling yourself we're now done. Because I've had that situation. I had a property on a street called Glen that I owned for 5 years,
Okay.
maybe 4.5 years. And every year I always audit my books, and it was always the worst performing asset. I'm like, oh, this time it's different. This time it's different. And I bought that thing ridiculously cheap, and it was still a problem. Sometimes it's the area, sometimes this, that, the other. I mean, there's all kinds of things. Sometimes you just feel cursed. I mean, that property I just felt cursed at.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think you need to pick a date now, right? It's December 20th. Somewhere between March 1st and April 15th. And you just need to say, if there's 2 more surprises, we got to get out.
Yeah.
And if not, then, you focus on your thing, and, you keep the 4. So that's kind of where I'm at, I think.
I like that. No, that makes sense. I'm sure it is easy to keep just saying, no, we're going to get past this hurdle.
Yeah,
Especially if
only
you're
one
like,
more. One
yeah,
more.
Yeah.
When's the sunk cost, right? And I kept teasing myself for years on end. It's just, and again, I own lots of property around. I mean, I like in this property on Glen, I think I must own 25 units within like walking distance.
Okay.
So it's not like it's an outlier. It's like in the part of town I know, but it's just whatever reason, the neighbor or something. I don't know what it's just was a problem. So that one finally had to go. I sold that last year. So
that makes sense. Yeah. It's funny how like there's just certain properties that are, whatever it is, they're just a pain in the butt.
And the beauty is, this is just how it works. You'll sell that to someone else and it will be their best property ever. It's just one person, it doesn't work for one, it works for the other. Maybe it's one of those properties where you have to self-manage, right? You've got to just be the guy in the pickup truck that comes by every couple of days, and you self-manage it. It's a great one. I don't know. It's just how it seems to work in life. Some of my best properties were, horrible ones for the past owner. It's just weird.
Yeah. It's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So the other thing, let's talk about syndications, right? Let's just say you keep these 4, you're good to go. They're going to be stuff you die with. So they go to your kids, all good, right? You get 2, everybody wins.
Right.
Now you're still stacking cash because you want to invest in real estate and be that passive side.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of things that I would, first and foremost, you've been watching my channel for any length of time. You know that I think apartments are fully valued. We are in an interest rate up cycle. So I think that what that's going to mean is cap rates go up. So I don't think I would invest. I personally wouldn't be a JV in a syndication deal that was originated in the next four quarters.
Okay.
Just because I think cap rates need to reset. I think they are so artificially low today. And why do I say that? Well, the fact is I sold some. So that tells you what I think. I think they're richly valued. I don't sell assets unless they're a problem or they're richly valued.
Yep.
So I sold some. So again, I would stack cash and wait on multifamily. I think being a JV kind of for like an independent operator could be interesting, assuming they have the track record, assuming they have skin in the game. I don't like operators who go 100% leverage and you fund the repairs. That makes me nervous. I would want short term, maybe like 6 months. If like you're going to fund a flipper or something, 6 month and then a 6 month option, something like that. So those are things I'm thinking. Any other thoughts you might have had?
Yeah, I'm thinking along the same lines, like independent GP who invests alongside you, so they have skin in the game. Like it's really weird to me if you're not investing in these deals with like you're just making
if you're not in for as
out.
deep as I am, that's a problem.
Yeah, like if you're just in it for fees and stuff, like no, I'm not interested in that personally.
Yeah, no, me either. So yeah, again, you could be passive, like do the LPGP thing, or you could find an independent, like if going to real estate meetups or your network, find a flipper or someone. You got to be really careful with flips today, but there's still people doing that. So short-term money that way as well.
Right. I think a JV would be the most interesting. You find someone, even, if you're interested again in out of state, like someone, I've met people through these like networking stuff in those areas. Some people may just be looking for a partner who has more money, and, they'll do some of the legwork and they get compensated for that or whatever it is. So
yeah. Yeah, very cool. A lot of fun stuff. So again, feedback for you. First thing I would do is set a date right now for when you're going to evaluate St. Louis. Are you truly through the headaches? And it's
March.
all March?
End of March.
End of March. So March 31st.
Yeah, end of Q1.
Okay. All right. Into Q1. I like it. We're going to come back and talk about this. Then the idea, I think, on the other side is you got to figure out, I think it's about a market, or maybe, I don't know. If it's I would be very nervous about syndications today. I would just stack cash.
I agree with you. I think I'm waiting personally, but I think like long term, I'm toying with that in my head right now.
Yeah.
So,
and then again, it's about the operator. If you're going to go small, and it's got to be someone that's going to pick up your call when you call. It's got to have a portfolio and a team. Got to be in one market. I don't think I would do someone who's in multiple markets. You can't be a master of all. You got to go really, really focus. So, Emil, congratulations on kid number 2. Thank you for coming back. We missed you. How can people follow you or, be a part of your world?
Probably the best, but LinkedIn, just Emil Shore, and Twitter, Emil Shore as well.
Yeah. SHOUR. And again, if you are a business out there and they want to solicit your service, where can they go to find out more about that?
Yeah. Our website is catalystcontent.co. We help businesses grow their traffic through Google. So if you're interested in that, hit me up.
Very cool. Thanks, Emil. Take care.
Thanks.